Welcome to the Hello Hornets podcast, an official podcast of the Mansfield Public Schools. In this episode, we speak with Jordan Jackson Elementary School Principal John Nieratko, who speaks about how the first few weeks of school have gone, the sense of community that exists at the Jordan Jackson, and ways parents can stay connected during the school year. You can listen to all episodes in the series by visiting mansfieldschoolnews.com/podcast or by following the Mansfield Public Schools on Facebook or Twitter. John, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Do you want to start by telling everyone a little bit about what your role is in the district and how long you've been here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm principal of the Jordan Jackson Elementary School. This is my 11th year in the district. I was formerly my 7th year here at Jordan Jackson, and prior to that, I was assistant principal and principal at the Robinson School.
And how has the school year gone so far, and what sorts of things are you looking forward to coming up?
It's going really well. It's great to have the building come to life again. Having students in the building is heart and soul of what school is all about. Staff are very excited to have students with them, and health staff, nursing staff working diligently to ensure that our safety protocols are in place, and we're working to keep students safe in our school. But it's great to hear students having some conversations in classrooms about their learning and really engaging in a meaningful way. Been working on supporting students from a social and emotional perspective, especially given the fact that many of our students were fully remote last year, and we did have a population of teachers that were fully remote. So we're working on targeting different ways in which we are building community within our building and working to support students as they make this transition back into in-person, focusing on finding ways in which they can care for themselves, and same as staff, working to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to be able to support themselves first, and that'll be the priority as they work with their students. So it's just been a great positive feeling in the building. Specialists are doing some amazing work, art, music, and PE in terms of getting students active again, and those wonderful hands-on activities. Artwork is beginning to take shape in our hallways, which is always a wonderful thing to see, and to see students engaged in the gym location and have it not have it be used as a cafeteria as we did last year. It's just such a wonderful thing. So the year is going off really well, and we're looking to forward to bringing back some activities throughout the course of the year that we've had in previous years. Upcoming, we're looking to participate in the National Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day, which will be coming up on October 6th. It's always a fun event for our students and our staff to be able to walk to school in an organized fashion and do that with families. And that's just a really fun event that we're looking forward to coming up soon.
Seems like obviously the number one priority of any school is education, but it seems like a lot of the schools in Mansfield, so many of the people talk about how there's also just a real sense of community. Everyone's on board, and there's just between students and their families and staff and administration, there seems to just be a really sense of family and sense of community and sense of togetherness with everyone. So I would imagine that would be just so much more apparent when everyone's back in the building.
Yeah, it's really important, particularly at the elementary level, too, to build those foundational skills, and that leads into being able to work in a manner which we're trying to in terms of the academics. Jordan Jackson, we focus a lot about caring about ourselves, caring for others, and caring for our school. And myself, Mrs. DeGrasse, one of our assistant principals, and Mrs. Peralt, the other assistant principal, have been taking time to go into every classroom in the building over these last couple of weeks and really talk about what community is and how we can be respectful and responsible within that community, because our ultimate goal is to learn. We've been working quite a bit to integrate several different initiatives in terms of enriching the curriculum and engaging students in project-based learning and STEM activities, and all of those things are highly engaging for students, but they also need to have the foundational level of students being able to work together, cooperate, be responsible, all those types of things. So really reinforcing that with students has been a focus for us as we've all been coming back together in the building. So it is a lot about supporting that aspect of it, but that aspect does lead to successes in terms of the academic instructional strategies that we've been working to implement.
And going along those lines, what sort of buy-in do you have from the families of your students in terms of their willingness to support the school and also things that you've been hearing from them about the way school has gone so far this year.
It's just such a wonderful community. We've always had such a great relationship, with families. I think families are one of the things that we've done in George Jackson the previous years is, solicit feedback from families about what we can do to make the learning engaging and support students. A lot of the initiatives that we've undertaken certainly are sound academic practices, but also come from a lot of feedback that we've gotten from families over the years. I do think that there obviously is a strong focus on what students may have missed or fallen behind of in terms of academics, which we have a lot of structures in place to be able to identify our gaps and be able to target those. But again, foundationally, to be able to get students in a really good place with their own physical, emotional well-being is of utmost importance to be able to accomplish that. So from everything that we've experienced, our staff are really good at proactively engaging families in that. We just recently had our curriculum night, which was a great success, so very well attended, and our specialists, our counseling staff, our occupational therapists, physical therapists, reading intervention, math and interventionist hosted a meet and greet in our cafeteria that was very well attended in between the classroom sessions. They were definitely very engaged in a lot of conversations with families, and I think that was really important too, so that way we can build those relationships where the individual needs are for families right in the beginning of the year, as opposed to sort of progressing through the year and then establishing them later on. And to be able to do that in person safely was of utmost importance to us too, and definitely something that will benefit us as we move through the year.
Well, as we wrap up, is there one last thing you want to say to the school community, one last message about the ways in which the school has been reaching out to families and staying in contact as the school year is starting?
Yeah, great. Thank you for asking that question. I want to just point families to different ways in which they can connect with us. Certainly the newsletter, Jordan Jackson News, you can use. Goes out on a weekly basis. We usually target Wednesdays so that we have a consistent day to get that out to families. It's always a great point of reference for a lot of different things. We'll be working on a few different initiatives during the course of the year to keep enriching that newsletter and the format and the content of that, but we always welcome feedback from families. Certainly, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And certainly, if anybody ever needs anything, please don't ever hesitate to pick up the phone and give us a call.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck with the new school year.
Thank you very much.